I feel like if she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye.
Beating up my future husband when I'm beating my future husband.
Trans people. People in wheelchairs.
Special needs helmets.
Elf cosmetics. You suck.
I know a thing or two about red flags.
A sexist man.
Elf that.
Today I want to talk about the Matt Rife and Elf Cosmetics controversy, and more broadly what it reveals about how our society responds to dark humor, to cancel culture, and to corporate hypocrisy. A bit of a summary. Matt Rife is a stand-up comedian who made a joke in his Netflix special that made a lot of people angry. It was about domestic abuse. Let's watch that now.
Baltimore, one time I ate lunch there, and the hostess who seats you at the restaurant had a black eye. A full black eye. And it wasn't like, what happened? Yeah, it was pretty obvious what happened.
So, you guys may know, I'm not the biggest fan of stand-up comedy. There's something about physically sitting in a room with other people, and you know you're supposed to laugh, and then they tell the joke, and it's like, but what if it's not funny? Like, that's so awkward. That's kind of a me thing. If I know I'm supposed to laugh, I probably won't find it funny. If I know I'm not supposed to laugh, I will probably find it funny. And that's not always a good thing. It's like when I watch the Amy Schumer clips, I don't know how I did that, where that strength came from. But just an example, right? He says she had a black eye. Audience starts laughing. What was the joke? What was the joke? Okay.
Yeah, but I feel like if she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye.
It really is not that bad. But this is not about whether or not you like stand-up comedy or Matt Rife. The question is, should this be a cancelable offense? In case you're for some reason confused, it's about a woman with a black eye. The implication is that she was a victim of domestic violence. The punchline suggested she deserved it for not knowing how to cook. So his defenders say it's just dark humor. Critics call it misogynistic. But whatever your stance, the joke sparked massive outrage, especially among women, surprise, surprise, right? And he had a fake apology to viewers who were offended, which linked to a website selling special needs helmets. If you ever feel offended by a joke I've told, here's a link to my official apology. Special needs helmets are lightweight, soft, durable, yeah. Okay, that one's funny. In general though, I'm not a Matt Rife fan. I find stand-up comedy excruciating. But I happen to like dark humor, and even if you don't, I don't think we should be silencing comedians or trying to cancel them, right? We either allow comedians to take risks or we force them into boring, algorithm-safe bits designed to offend no one. Also, if a woman made that same joke about a man, everyone would clap. In fact, I know they would, because there are women online right now making beat up my man jokes and getting likes for it. So this outrage is very selective. And that's not surprising for a lot of modern day feminists. Personally, I think you either discourage both men and women from making these kinds of jokes, or you allow both to do it. Here are some examples. POV, I'm beating up my future husband, but I catch a glimpse of my lethal face card in his tears. When my future husband tells me his love language is physical touch, so I beat him up. When I'm beating my future husband for not grabbing me another beer, but I catch a glimpse of my insane face card. Okay, you get the idea. This is allowed, so Matt Rife's joke should be allowed as well. He has the right to tell whatever jokes he wants, and people have the right not to watch. Same goes for women. If a female comedian wants to make dark jokes about beating up her boyfriend, go ahead, just don't actually do it. Same for men, right? The joke is in the crime. The crime is the crime. Do not beat up your significant other, please. Here are some more of his jokes.
Imagine how hard their life is and the that they have to go through. Therefore, you cannot make jokes about trans people. And I hear you, but...
What is funny? Again, not about Matt specifically, but why is the audience laughing? What did he even say that was funny?
You cannot make jokes about trans people. I hear you, but...
What was the joke?
You know who has life way harder than trans people that we never talk about? People in wheelchairs.
How about trans people in wheelchairs?
Do they complain about it? No. We gave them a couple of ramps and kept it pushing. That's joking. Okay, relax. Hey, look, if you just have fun for the next 15 minutes, we're all gonna laugh at some things that we don't think we're allowed to laugh at. Oh, is it like a naughty thing if I laugh at a joke at a comedy show? Have fun.
Maybe that's what it is that bothers me. I feel like if he commits to it fully during all these jokes, right, it wouldn't be as cringy. But then he has to do the, I'm just kidding. Come on, guys, I'm just kidding. We know, you're a comedian. Just say the joke. You don't have to explain yourself. And what was this? I'm just joking.
Naughty thing if I laugh at a joke.
Okay, well, not my cup of tea, but that's okay. Fast forward to this month. Elf Cosmetics drops a new ad campaign starring Matt Rife and a drag queen named Heidi N. Closet. Interesting combination, to say the least.
Hey girl, has overpriced beauty hurt your wallet?
Elf that!
Alfino and Schmarns have gone to Elf Court for millions of clients, helping them to access beauty products they deserve at prices that won't injure their livelihoods.
Just ask the elfing people.
I know a thing or two about red flags.
Get it? Because he was canceled? Yeah.
And pricey makeup, you deserve better than that.
You may be entitled to benefits.
Let's get you those eyes, lips, funds.
Is it to cover up the black eye?
Find out what your case and face are really worth.
Call us at 1-855-COLD-HARD-LASH.
That's 1-855-265-34.
273-2274.
How people gonna remember that?
Well, here's a number you can remember. $9.
Alfino and Schmarns, affordable beauty attorneys.
Call me.
Matt has no real connection to beauty and no history of creating beauty content, so naturally everyone's asking why? Why him, right? This campaign likely passed through multiple rounds of corporate approval, making it even more baffling that no one flagged this decision, because it seems like intentional rage bait, right? But the execution was sloppy and the message was confusing. Including a drag queen almost feels like a deliberate distraction, as if Elf knew Rife's inclusion would cause backlash, right? Mostly from women, and hoped that the drag representation would cancel it out. But instead, it just muddied the message. Who is this for, exactly? We've got someone women hate and drag queen.
Hi, Elf Cosmetics. You suck. Ad which features Matt Rife, a sexist man who makes jokes about domestic violence. Elf apologized for the ad, but it's still up. That's not taking accountability. An apology without change is manipulation. It's giving sorry you felt that way. Even if Matt Rife wasn't awful, why is he in this campaign? What does he have to do with makeup?
I agree. It's really not a big deal. Dark humor is allowed regardless of your gender, but I think it's a weird decision from Elf. So the main arguments that people are making is that Elf betrayed their overwhelmingly female customer base, or at least that's what it feels like. Also, Matt Rife shouldn't be the face of a brand that claims to empower women. And honestly, again, I think the backlash is valid in some ways, not because Matt Rife should be banned from telling jokes, including dark humor, but because the campaign itself doesn't make strategic sense for anyone. If Elf is trying to appeal to a more conservative fan base that would be more open-minded to dark humor jokes about women or trans people, then why include a man dressed as a woman? And if they're trying to stay progressive, why include Matt Rife?
Oh, Elf Cosmetics hired Matt Rife for an ad campaign. Elf Cosmetics? Yeah, the same Elf Cosmetics that campaigned on more diversity and women represented in boardrooms. Yeah, empowering women and protecting women's rights. Partnered with Matt Rife, who very famously said he doesn't like women with big because it looks like God left the tag on them. Yeah, who stated he doesn't pander to women and he makes his comedy for the bros. Hey girl, are you a victim of overpriced beauty? If so, call our Cold Hard Lash line? Yeah, they made a victim's helpline advertised with the face of a man who made a joke about a woman getting punched in the face because she didn't cook well enough for her partner.
So Elf markets itself as progressive, as inclusive and empowering, but this campaign reads like a PR intern skimmed one controversy equals clicks article and ran with it. They wanted shock value but didn't commit. They wanted edge but softened it with a drag queen. Then when it blew up, they issued a half-hearted apology saying they missed the mark. Here's that apology. You know us. We're always listening and we've heard you. We don't want to lose money, basically. This campaign aimed to humorously spotlight beauty and justice. We understand we missed the mark with people we care about in our elf community. While Alfino and Schmarns closes today, we'll continue to make the case against overpriced beauty. It's like if there was a company who claimed to care about men's mental health and they were selling razors or something, and they featured a female comedian who made jokes about the male loneliness epidemic. Because I'm just thinking, if I was a man who was struggling mentally and I see that this company is really committed to helping men who are struggling, and then they include someone like that, I would be very confused. But not because those female comedians can't make those kinds of jokes, but because it doesn't make sense to include them there. At least it doesn't make sense if you're actually trying to sell your products, right, and make money. So this apology made the whole thing even more pathetic. Either commit to it or keep pandering to your existing audience. But this was just messy and a horrible business move.
Well, it's dark comedy, but people can find dark comedy funny. It's not about banning jokes. It's about brand alignment. If your whole thing is about empowering and uplifting women, choosing someone whose most viral moment makes fun of abuse sends a completely different message to the one they've been trying to build. To the survivors and advocates who have spent money on Elf, who have chosen Elf because they align with those values, this just screams none of that matters. None of that, everything we did was just for jokes. Those values aren't as important as this viral moment, this viral campaign. That the empowerment talk is just just marketing, that they truly don't care. Dark comedy can live in its own lane, but if you are a brand who have built a reputation and a fan base, a consumer base on empowering and uplifting women, this isn't the guy you choose.
I agree. If Elf really wanted to be provocative, they could have stood behind this decision. It could have owned it, leaned in. Instead, though, they sent a mixed signal to every side of the audience. And now look out of touch to everyone. This proves what we already knew. Most brands do not care about values, and they don't actually stand for anything. They chase virality, but this time it backfired. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think people are right to boycott Elf? Do you think Matt should have been canceled for his joke? Comment below. Also remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can see more videos like this. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.